Welcome back, everybody. Well, there have been many changes and many advancements in technology since the devastating tornado outbreak 10 years ago today, April 27th of 2011. Meteorologist Abigail Degler explains now how two major groups have adapted to better serve you during severe weather situations.
April 27, 2011, a day in Alabama history that still feels like yesterday for many.
Damage was everywhere. It was everywhere. You know, hundreds of lives were lost that day as well across the Southeast. So it was an event like we've never seen.
Director of Transmission's Technical Service for the Tennessee Valley Authority, Phil Stovall, remembers that day and says he's usually a positive person. But as the day turned into night, he struggled to keep that same mindset.
Usually at night, we get out and we fix things and we get people back up. But that was the only night in my career that I've ever seen that we had to go home and not have that done.
During those storms, more than 850,000 TVA customers were without electricity. Since April 27th, Stovall says the way power gets to your home has changed and greatly improved.
Having an event like that has helped us train our operators and our response crews. It's also made us look at like strategic spare parts, you know, transformers, towers, that we have a good supply chain.
He says since 2011, TVA has worked diligently to improve its technology and has even taken steps to mitigate Mother Nature's wrath.
You know, we can't control Mother Nature, but another thing that we have going now is our technologies are so much more robust.
Stovall says it's part of their job to assess the damages from tornadoes, but back then there were greater limitations like debris, road closures, and sometimes the lack of roads altogether.
We have a helicopter fleet that we deploy. We have drones now. We're building a new system operations center currently.
First responders are also better prepared thanks to new communication lifelines. Wayne Hutchins, state president of AT&T Alabama, says FirstNet, which was not yet developed in 2011, is now a major player when it comes to the aftermath of natural disasters. FirstNet creates a channel for uninterrupted communication exclusively for first responders in events like a tornado outbreak.
We have an inventory of over 80 deployable assets that once the disaster passes through, that we can activate and bring to the scene of the disaster.
Assets like cell towers on wheels, drones, which are essentially cell towers in the air, and even a blimp, all to restore communication capabilities for first responders. He says this advancement in technology helps crews communicate and better organize cleanup and rescue efforts.
North Alabama's most accurate weather team. Now, your First Alert Weather with meteorologist Abigail Degler.
And Abigail, I know I was talking to you earlier about that story. You said you learned a whole lot, and hopefully we'll never have to go through what we saw 10 years ago on April 27th, an outbreak quite like that. But if we do go through something similar, at least based on that story, you see how the communication continues to improve, which would help with the response and hopefully save some lives.
Well, communication is key, not only for us as broadcasters, but for first responders. And doing that package, I learned a lot, and I'm definitely reassured if anything like that ever happens again. And let's hope it does not.
Yeah,
but
knock on wood.
knock on wood. As we look at today, 10 years later, it is not looking anything like that. We are noticing a very mild and warm trend as we look outside. We've gained 7 degrees in Coleman since 24 hours ago, as well as in Huntsville, 5 in Fort Payne, 6 in the Shoals. And we're looking to stay warm as we go into the next several hours. Some of us already breaking into the 80s early on in the noon hour. And we'll see a little bit of sun and then a little bit of cloud coverage. The cloud coverage is going to dominate as we go later into the day. Right now, kind of off to the west of 65, but it's going to build and push in off to the east as we go later into your day. 3:30, right around when you're picking up those kids from school, around 83. So the lower to middle 80s for our daytime high. And just a little reminder, that average for this time of year is 77 degrees. So we are definitely trending warm for your afternoon today. And with direct sunlight, it's going to feel even warmer than 83 degrees out there. As we go later into your evening, really for that drive home, we're going to notice those clouds building up, but really no chances for rain. We're going to stay dry for today and tomorrow. Our chances start to roll in as we go later into the week. So just some heavy cloud coverage as we go later into the evening. So overnight plans, maybe later in the evening plans, eating out, all looking to be good to go for your Tuesday. As we go overnight into your Wednesday, we're still tracking quite a bit of warmth thanks to that blanket of cloud coverage in the 60s overnight. And then we'll start to see those rain chances start to filter in. As you go throughout your day today, you're going to notice the warmth and that little bit of heat as well. And as we go into your later afternoon, you're also going to notice these winds. They're gusting upwards of 25 to maybe even 30 miles per hour as we go throughout your noon hour. And these will continue until around 2 p.m. and then they'll start to die down just a little bit, but still gusting in the teens as we go throughout your day. As we go into tonight, they will start to die down, but pick back up for your Wednesday. And that leads you to believe that we're going to see the 80s yet again, and you'd be right. 86 for that daytime high, feeling like 86 out there, a nice little taste of summer. 64 for that overnight low, and we have some warm winds and that blanket of cloud coverage to thank for that. So as we go throughout your Wednesday, not much is changing. We're starting off with a little bit more cloud activity. Once again, for the most part, we're staying dry, seeing the 80s again with some strong south winds throughout the day, helping to usher in that warm air. As we look at the hour by hour of the entirety of the U.S., we're going to see cloud coverage move in and that rain kind of flirt with us as we go into your Wednesday. We may see a few very isolated showers, but for the most part, it is going to stay to the north of us. We'll see it move in for the later half of your Thursday for that drive home, spilling over into your Friday with a slight chance of some thunderstorms. So that really looks to be our rain chances for the week. We're dry for your weekend, and we're also saying hello to May on Saturday. We're going right into it. That kind of snuck up on me. We're seeing the 70s as a little bit of a cool down, but we're right back into the 80s as we go into your following Monday, and we're going to stay there for a little while with rain chances back in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday.
Abigail, thanks so much for that weather report. We are